Hola, it's Carpaccio with the Weekly Pele Report. And I made it home to Costa Rica. This is my backyard. I can't believe it. You go away for a little while and the rainy season comes along and everything is just gone badonkers. Anyway, the moon now is in Gemini and is going to be moving right on through there. She's going to conjoin together, of course, with Mercury and Venus and the north node of the moon, and going to go into Cancer on Friday, and then moving through Cancer will be hitting, of course, Mars, opposing Pluto, before she goes into Leo on Monday. Other than that, we have a very nice Mercury, okay, in Gemini, trining Saturn in Aquarius, air to air, right? And Jupiter tomorrow is going to be going into Pisces. So we can talk a little bit about that. But it's just going to be there for a little while. It's going to station retrograde at 2 degrees 11 minutes, okay, June 20th, and it's going to come back into Aquarius July 29th. So it's really only in Pisces here for, you know, a little more than a month, 2 months, and then is going to, you know, come back, finally stay there for, you know, the whole next year, like just the end of December or so. It's going to really get into there. Look at these guys have just, and you've got the bugs and the butterflies and this whole ecosystem. Everything is all just, you know, feeding on each other, and the web of life is very strong. Nature is very strong around here. There's my papaya tree. I got some little, you see the baby papayas there? Got some papayas coming. That'll be nice. Got a whole bunch of bananas. Anyway, where was I? Mars in conjunct Saturn on Saturday. Okay, and what's that sun doing? Well, the sun is moving through the final degrees of Taurus. Comes into a sextile with Neptune today. Comes into a trine with Pluto on Monday, and, you know, exits Taurus, but that'll be next week's report. Yeah. And other than that, pretty much all week we've got Venus hovering around the north node of the moon, okay, along with black moon Lilith is going to come around and join. That's what I did the chart reading for. I mean, the chart that you see beforehand, and somebody asked me if I could post it again. So maybe after here I will put that chart in again, and you can just hit pause and see that I did that chart for a black moon Lilith, Venus, north node of the moon conjunction going on over there in Gemini, which is the impetus for today's song, this week's song. And what else other than that? I'm just going to look at the camera and talk about this. Okay, everybody. Whoosh! I hope that you're doing all right out there. These are pretty wild and crazy times. I'm just thinking of these last few days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We have had Mars in square to Chiron. And if you look at the chart, okay, again, we have what? Mars at 11 degrees, Cancer. Uranus, 11 degrees, Taurus. Chiron, 11 degrees Aries. North node of the moon, 11 degrees, 10 degrees, 11 degrees of Gemini. There's a lot going on. Anything that you have around 11 degrees of any of the signs is really getting, you're getting this strong impact right now. And it is a disturbing, upsetting, challenging, healing time for you. Yeah, I've got the moon at 11 degrees Gemini, so this is all really, I'm right at the apex of the yacht happening there. But I wanted to just share with you a little bit about this healing energy, because I've just started reading this, my friend Ram Dass. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he wrote a book, Be Here Now, that really changed my life many years ago, and he is still here. This is a very good book. I just wanted to read this one thing that he says on page 5. Healing is not the same as curing, after all. Healing does not mean going back to the way things were before, but rather allowing what is now to move us closer to God. You might want to rewind and hear that again. I'm still meditating. I'm going to be meditating on this one for a number of days. Healing is not the same as curing. It's like we're not trying to, whether it's, COVID or a relationship or a physical, mental ailment. We're not trying to cure, is to just get back to normal. A lot of psychotherapy, psychoanalysis, get the individual back to functioning, in the world, so that they can fulfill their duties and responsibilities. And that is, so we want to cure them of their illness or disease or problem. But what he's saying is that healing, healing is not the same. And he speaks of this because I noticed some parallels, traveling around the world, giving workshops, very busy, writing, speaking, teaching, and he had a stroke. And at first, of course, it brought up all kinds of, trauma, challenges, right? A big change of focus, a big change in the direction of who, and we go through this, and this is what Gemini is about. This is why I'm bringing all this up right now, okay, that we have this Venus, Lilith, North Node in Gemini. Gemini is mutable air, changeable change, I call Gemini. And so it is this necessity that we all have of flexibility, and that's what today's mantra is about, is this ability to change our minds, this ability to change our course when we receive new information, when we receive, something that, in the moment, in the now. Sagittarius, the south node of the moon, okay, that is all about more the long term. That's the Holy Grail, okay, the natural laws, the eternal truths, and the opposite of that is Gemini. I always look at Gemini as like the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. It's crazy, right? Everybody's throwing tickets and throwing numbers and going up and down, and I mean, Gemini is just like Gemini actually gets a little bit of a hard time in a lot of astrology circles, because they're kind of, they are changeable, and that changeableness can lead to people, not trusting, not believing, kind of waiting for what they're going to do, in the long run, in the long term. So this Gemini is this flexibility, particularly of the mind and of the thoughts and the thinking. And so we're coming into this eclipse season, okay? And, you know, the sun is still in Taurus now. And like I say, I want to talk a little bit more about the Chariot, the card in the Tarot, because we still have this new moon in Taurus, and it is the Charioteer about to set off into Gemini. So right now we are in this place. I'll hold up the card. My favorite tarot really is the Thoth deck with Crowley, and I'm just going to hold this up while I read a little bit, from the book that I have here. The card of the Chariot shows us a charioteer in golden armor, absorbed within himself in a meditative pose, a yoga posture. The entire power of this card, which stands out at first glance, generally seems to have come to a standstill under closer examination. However, even in the condition of repose, there is still the expression of a mighty potential of power. You feel that? It's a very powerful card. It is a peaceful power that has gathered within itself and around its center, explaining the external condition of repose, the pull of the eternal, integrating human beings with all of their activities into the active plan of creation, and having its microcosmic equivalent in the perpetually revolving movement of the Holy Grail chalice at the center of the Charioteer. The meditating, self-absorbed Charioteer in his massive golden armor embodies the image of the holy warrior, samurai, expressed through the concentrated spiritual power, chi, and not through pure muscle power. Yet the chariot is still at a standstill. The charioteer sits in complete absorption upon his vehicle and concentrates on the inner center portrayed by the Holy Grail. This is Taurus, sitting in still repose, building up the power within, centering ourselves within our core. And as that moves into Gemini, the charioteer sets off. I'll just read a little bit more out of this great book, yeah? The charioteer stands for the gathered strength, prepared to take the great leap forwards. It shows that we separate ourselves from familiar surroundings in order to go our own way. The driving forces involved are the urge for freedom, ambition, the search for paradise lost, or simply our need for recognition. The victor's chariot represents not only the powers setting off or pressing onwards, but also the skill of the charioteer in maintaining the inner and outer balance. Since the hero and the chariot aim for the external point of wanting, but the grail and the background represent the inner goal of feeling, we see here how well the connection works when the center of the wanting is in harmony with the higher self. Oh yeah. Is that great or what? I just love it. So we are at this stage now, and of course, Mercury and Venus and Lilith have, jumped ahead of the sun. They can't wait to get into the Gemini, can't wait to set off. Gemini in the third house and Mercury have to do with short distance travel, networking, communication, Facebooking, Instagramming, going to the library and reading and, absorbing. And it's more newspapers and mainstream media or unmainstream media, BitChute or, YouTube. But it is this whole situation of immersing ourselves within the now, coming out of setting out with our desire to leave the past and to learn out of curiosity more about our environment, more about our world, more about the now. And so it's a mutable sign. We're going to be mutating. So no sooner do we tap into that Holy Grail, our inner core, our inner truth. And this Mars in Cancer is also helping us do this. You could see the little Cancer crab, and actually the Charioteer is associated with Cancer. But this Mars is also coming into this opposition with Pluto, where we'll have the outside world and external authorities wanting to control or impress us with their desires, wants, and needs. But here we have the sun and all the personal planets now down, in these early signs, getting in touch with our own unique capacities, values, strengths, and then coming out and learning and expanding, getting the right words, finding the right words, finding the right language. And then what do we have here also? Black Moon Lilith. And that's just kind of inspiring my Santana song for today, Black Magic Woman. You mix Black Moon Lilith with Venus, and you've got a Black Magic Woman. And then you put it conjunct the north node of the moon. And this is like, let's talk about the taboo. Let's talk about, let's converse, and let's study and look beneath the surface of things. Lilith has to do with our shadow, with what we have hidden away, even from ourselves, in order to be accepted by our caregivers and by the outside world. So this is also part of what is in that grail within us. And it's having these conversations, or reading about, or studying, or learning, or researching about, yes, that which we don't always want to expose, or want to share, or want to. It has to do with leaving ourselves vulnerable to experience the mysteries of life, and to make those changes, and to be able to adapt and mutate according to the new conversation, or the new article, or the new book, or the new test result, or the new whatever this is what is so powerful about being human, is our ability to adapt to our environment. Yeah? It's very super powerful. So, today I just want to give honor to the Gemini. I want to give honor to the change, the ability to change. I reserve the right to change my mind when I learn more than I know. It doesn't mean I can't be trusted, but that I'm willing to grow. The south node of the moon, and we're going to have a lunar eclipse, okay, where the moon is on that south node of the moon. These are the fanatics who will not change their mind, who will maybe, be a suicide bomber or a religious jihad, or, fundamental, just like, I believe in this, I always have, I always will, I am rigid, I am judgmental, I am the right? And it's like, these people are not evolving, particularly during this time and this eclipse season. So we may see some confrontations between those who are adaptable, changeable, learning, growing, expanding their minds, okay, and opening their hearts, versus those that are remaining stuck in old beliefs, in limiting core beliefs, some from past lives. So this is really a time where I encourage you to reach out and talk to somebody who thinks differently. Talk to, connect with someone, even if it's in a debate, but like hear both sides or the other side or all three, four, five. In astrology, we say there are 12 ways of looking at anything. We have 12 signs in the zodiac. There's 12 different aspects or angles to whatever is going on. So talk to those 12 different people. Get 12 different points of view, and try not to get too stuck or too locked in to any particular perspective during this time. Yeah? It's really and this is beautiful, right? This then is, the Mercury trine Saturn, and Jupiter, opening up, vistas into Pisces, and Venus, loving, to learn, loving learning, right? Venus and Gemini. So it's just all about right now education, educating ourselves, and educating each other. So may you have many a pleasant, joyful, enlightening conversation this week. Namaste. Aloha. So much love.